today we've got a brand new tablet with us here again. Seems like it's tablet month because there's so many tablets being released, but today we are actually featuring one of the brand new tablets from Honor. It's called the Honor MagicPad 313.3. It's got quite a fair bit of very new and useful features, so let's just jump straight into it and find out who this tablet is really for. Alright guys, welcome back to ZDES Tech. I'm your host Zahid, so let's start. Now first things first, let's talk a bit about the price. So it's retailing for $700, which you know sits right under $700, and it comes with quite a fair bit of things over here. So in terms of the packaging, you not only get the tablet itself, you get a keyboard case, you get a stylus, you get a charger, the cable, 66-watt charger by the way. You get everything that you might need in the box so you don't have to go and search for accessories online. Pretty neat. Now moving on, let's talk a bit about how these accessories actually work because you know there's been some upgrades over here. For the keyboard case itself, what you do now is actually connect it via these tiny magnetic pogo pins. It's not like before where you actually use Bluetooth, so these magnetic pogo pins actually creates a more stable connection. Now speaking about the keyboard case, there's also a couple of things that I should highlight over here. Now first up is obviously the material. It's very smooth to the touch, it's very nice, very comfortable to actually type on. You have a decent kind of a key travel over here and we just zoom in onto the keyboards or the keys themselves. You notice that we do have a couple of very useful shortcuts. We have app 1 and app 2, which basically means shortcut keys that you can assign to any app that is already in the tablet. So I personally actually set it up to two of my favorite apps, which is Instagram as well as Chrome. Furthermore, you also have one AI button with just one tap of this 4 squared button. Basically it launches up my Google Gemini and I can just ask stuff, anything on my screen and all that. So it's again very convenient. More importantly, I think the entire keyboard experience is just very similar to that of a laptop because if you just take a look at the size itself, this is a 13.3-inch device. It's quite large and if you compare it to standard laptops of these days, Ultrabooks and all that, they're actually about the same size. So the entire setup works just like that. Now in case you're wondering how I actually flip this thing or tilt my device, all you need to do is actually fold the upper half of the keyboard case like so and then you can actually tilt to any kind of angle that you want. Fun fact, you can even flip it around and then let it lie on the other side so you can actually draw on it without having to remove the case. So I think that's also, it depends on how you work around it, but it's actually a very clever case. Now moving on, one cool thing about this device here is that it now supports HDMI out support. So if you actually have a spare display lying around or if you just want to up your productivity game, you can always just link this out via Type-C by the way to another external display and you can have that two-screen kind of setup. Alright guys, now that we've taken a look at what you get in the box, let's take a look at the device. Design-wise, the tablet is thin and premium, measuring just 5.8 millimeters in thickness and weighing 595 g. This makes it impressively portable for its size. Available in gray, white, and gold color options, the MagicPad 3 looks as elegant as it is functional. The entire back panel is made of this really nice kind of matte texture which also prevents fingerprints and it still maintains its boxy kind of look that means flat backs, flat sides but actually curved edges on the side so it doesn't poke into your palm. Furthermore, it's also very slim and very lightweight that means they're carrying it around even though it's such a huge size, it won't really be too much of a hassle. Now moving on, in terms of the display, what we get at the front is actually a larger 13.3-inch LCD panel. Now I know some of you might say, why no more OLED panel? And yes, trust me, I myself also miss the OLED panel but this is actually a very strong LCD panel. Not only are you getting a higher resolution at 3.2K, the frame rate has also been bumped up to 165 Hz, so the whole experience is actually so much smoother regardless of whether you are just browsing on the web or if you are actually playing games. This results in incredibly smooth visuals, ideal for both high-speed gaming and fluid content scrolling. The display supports HDR Vivid with a peak brightness of 1000 nits. Stylus support is integrated, allowing the MagicPad 3 to double as a digital canvas for drawing, note-taking, or precision input, which is particularly useful for creatives and professionals alike. Now another thing to mention is that the display itself also supports 7 types of advanced eye comfort tech. So you have your TUV run lens certified for your low blue light, you're flicker free, you have so many other features, even motion sickness relief, just to ensure that you have a more comfortable experience when you're watching shows or looking at the display for a long period of time. Now just a very quick personal experience on the display. You know, I've been watching a lot of Netflix, especially if you have a strong internet connection. Netflix here is supporting up to full HD, so you're still going to be able to enjoy your shows at very high clarity. I've been watching Oppenheimer again a couple of times now. The colors just pops on the Honor MagicPad 3. Even if you're watching or binging TV shows like, Wednesday, you're still going to get a very nice picture over here. Now in fact, the audio experience is also very good. We actually have 8 speakers on here and it just gets so loud. Very rich kind of sound and it just gives you, so much better than how you actually hear it on your phone or maybe on other tablets. I will actually put a very quick clip at the end of the video comparing it to your phone and this tablet just so you actually have an idea on the difference between the kind of speakers over there. So you might want to use your headphones for that, but that will be placed at the end of the video. Now moving on in terms of performance, powering this tablet is actually a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. It's got even better enhanced cooling, and if you're going to be using the Honor MagicPad 3 here for heavy multitasking, just switching between apps, using all your documents and all that, launching very heavy PowerPoints is all going to run very smoothly on the Honor MagicPad 3. Even if you are going to be, during your leisure time playing a couple of games like your Mobile Legends or even Genshin Impact, I think you'll still be able to enjoy a very satisfying experience over here. Don't forget, although the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is not this year's flagship chipset, but this tablet is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset. Combined with up to 16 GB of RAM and storage options, reaching up to 1 TB, the MagicPad 3 offers enough performance and space for multitasking, gaming, and large file storage. Media performance is a highlight of this tablet, thanks to Honor's long-standing partnership with IMAX. It still has a battery. We've got a larger battery here now, so this time it's using the silicon carbon tech. Finally, it's got a 12,450 mAh unit. I've been using this for the better part of a week now and I've only charged it twice and it supports 66-watt fast charge. Just in case you're wondering about that, it gets to 100% in 83 minutes, so slightly more than an hour. But for a battery of this size, I would say that the charging speed is actually pretty good. Alright guys, so now that I've talked about the specifications, what's new and all that, and now let's talk a bit about a couple of free applications. Very useful applications that actually built into the Honor MagicPad 3 that you can use for free. Now this is going to be very important for remote workers. If you're looking to get a tablet to replace your laptop, this part might actually be very important for you. So first up, we actually have Honor Docs. Now this is sort of like a PC grade kind of Windows Office. If you want to put it that way, you can actually sync your files to the cloud. It's free to use, don't forget that, and it also supports all kinds of formats that you are already familiar with. So like I said earlier on, with this keyboard, you can actually use your documents here, your Word, your PowerPoint, or your Excel by using all the shortcut keys that you're already familiar with using on a computer directly on the MagicPad 3. Now moving on, we also have Honor Notes that has been upgraded with a lot of features. So I've actually covered this in a previous video, but just to give you a very quick recap, you have stuff like AI summary, AI formatting, you can record like a lecture and all that, and change the speech to text, or even translate it if you don't understand what the lecturer is saying, and you have so many more other features that's already built into the Honor Notes app. In case you are someone who actually takes up a lot of calls, video calls, meetings, or maybe remote learning, it's worth mentioning that the tablet now comes with AI voice print noise cancellation, and that basically cancels out all the noise in the background just so that everyone can hear you a little bit clearer. Now moving on, I've not forgotten about the stylus or the pencil that I've been holding for a very long time now. So yeah, in terms of the sensitivity, it's very good. I would say that it's almost getting closer and closer to 1-to-1, just like how you are writing on a piece of paper. You can see that whenever I just write on the screen, it actually follows my movements very closely. It's excellent for writing notes and great for drawing pictures if you want to do that on the tablet as well. Now last but not least, in terms of connectivity, we also have Honor Connect that's supported here, just in case you want to transfer files between an iOS device, Windows, or other Android phones, and you also have Honor's Magic Ring that allows you to interact with your own Honor devices for the entire Honor ecosystem. So at the end of the day, who is this Honor MagicPad 3 for? Well, I would say that if you're in a market looking for a brand new tablet, you're looking for something about this size, 13.3 inches. Maybe you're looking to get a laptop but you don't want that laptop experience, you want to be able to, have some flexibility, remove the keyboard to have the tablet experience, a hybrid kind of experience. Well, I would say that you might want to check out the Honor MagicPad 3. For $700, you're getting a very strong performance here, not just by the tablet itself but also with the entire package together with the keyboard as well as the stylus. Anyway, if you have any further questions about this particular tablet, let me know down in the comments section below. Hopefully, today's video has helped you out in a way or another. Thank you for watching and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.